sure. He could be there by tomorrow afternoon. No, that's the soonest. Hey, look, the guy's got a life, you know. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to tell you, there's an extra charge for his coming over to your house. No, wiseacre, he cannot fix it over the phone. What? What's it for? Well, it's because Rocky says so, that's why. Oh, really? Well, I don't like your attitude either. Okay, look, you can talk to Rocky. Maybe you two can work something out, if you know what I mean. Or look, I'll tell you what, genius. Bring your toilet down here to the shop, and we can take a look-see at it, okay?
It looks like Trixie is having a little trouble selling her caller on the idea of a minimum charge, doesn't it? And although her lack of phone etiquette, non-existent professionalism, and poor communication skills certainly didn't help things, I don't think they were necessarily the only obstacles to closing the call. It seems that more and more prospective customers are becoming wary of hidden charges, overbilling, and other generally dishonest business practices. And although C2000 prides itself on the integrity of all its members, the lack of integrity elsewhere in the industry, no matter how rare, has greatly impacted how we do business. In many parts of the country, the general air of suspicion that has been fueled by a ratings-hungry media has CSRs feeling like they are on trial every time they try to book a service call.
Great, I have a service technician in your area right now, Mr. Owens. He can come by, look at the problem, and he'll let you know what's involved. Our minimum service call is only $35, and yes, sir, that's our minimum charge for all calls. And no, sir, I can't speak for other companies who say... I understand your concern, but I assure you, no, I'm afraid I didn't see that particular television expose.
As you can see, being a true professional, even with the help of a well-developed script, doesn't always guarantee an easy close. No matter how good your script is or how well you've learned it, you will always need to adapt to individual situations to educate customers who are confused, upset, or responding to false assumptions. And in order to do this, especially when it involves objections to your company's minimum charge, you first must be sure that you yourself fully understand all the facts. What do I mean? Well, for example, what does your shop provide for the customer for the minimum charge being paid? In other words, what exactly can they expect to get for their money? Now, many scripts do explain the details, and that's good. But to be a really great customer service representative, you must not only have the scripts memorized, you must also understand the content well enough to respond quickly, professionally, and with conviction to any situation. So, what does the customer get for the minimum charge? At C2000 shops, the customer can expect a completely stocked service truck and a fully trained professional service technician who will thoroughly examine the problem, provide a written diagnosis with the solution to the problem, and provide a written quote for the work that needs to be done. Of course, some of you are probably thinking, yeah, but I already say all that as part of my regular script. And my answer is, great. But do you really understand why your company charges a minimum? If so many customers object, why doesn't your company just eliminate the minimum charge and make everybody's life a lot easier? Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, on closer inspection, that wouldn't be a very good idea. You see, no matter what some service shops may promise, there is no such thing as a free estimate. Why? Because there are set costs associated with sending a service technician to someone's home. First, there are travel expenses, like gas and wear and tear on the truck. Second, there's the service technician's time, and like any professional, their time is valuable. Third, there's the cost of lost potential business. The technician is unable to go on another job during that time. Now, there is one more reason your company charges a minimum fee, but it isn't one that I recommend you mention to your callers. Although it may help you to understand your company's policy, callers may misinterpret the meaning and become offended. The fact is that charging a minimum fee helps your company qualify callers as prospective customers. For one reason or another, some callers are not truly serious about wanting service. And in a busy shop, that creates needless delays for other callers. Therefore, shops that use minimum fees are better able to provide service to serious callers in the shortest time possible. Well, so far we've covered the whats and whys of selling the minimum charge. But what about how to communicate that information to your callers? What's the best method? Is there a way you can help avoid or overcome misconceptions? Absolutely. In fact, the words you choose can make a big difference in the perception of your minimum fee.
And if you let Rocky do the work, we'll waive the fee. No, waive. W-A-I-V-E. Wave, sort of like the ocean. What? Yeah, I got the address. I know you don't live by the ocean. That's not what I'm trying to say.
A bit extreme, I'll admit, but it makes the point. Keep it simple. Perhaps if she had said, "You don't have to pay the minimum fee if you decide to have us do the work," there wouldn't have been any confusion. Surprisingly, a number of objections to minimum fees are actually just misunderstandings resulting from language or cultural barriers. This is especially true in areas with large ethnic populations, but examples exist throughout the country. If you ask for a pop at a roadside stand in Los Angeles, you're more likely to get a frozen treat than a glass of Coca-Cola. And if you order a grinder in Philadelphia, they just might hand you a peppermill instead of a hero sandwich. Well, the same is true for minimum fees. Depending on the area, the minimum fee might be called a travel charge, a travel and diagnostic charge, a service call fee, a trip charge, a show-up fee, a service charge, or a service dispatch fee. And in almost all cases, whatever term you use will have to be explained every time to every customer. At some shops, they even use the term diagnostic fee. But be careful with that one. It's generally okay for calls involving heating or air conditioning. However, if the problem is a simple stoppage and you tell the caller you're charging a diagnostic fee, you may be in for trouble. The caller is likely to respond, "I'm not paying for a diagnosis. I know what the problem is. My darn sink stopped up." But even when the caller is upset or just plain resistant, there is a bright side. It presents an opportunity for you to really shine, to show that you're not just an order taker, but someone who can turn a situation around, someone who can book the call. Every explanation you provide is more than just an explanation. It's your chance to get the caller to agree to have the service done. True, it's not always easy, but if it were, service companies wouldn't need skilled professional CSRs. They just hire a local answering service to handle the calls. Your company hired you to make a difference, not to act like a machine or a parrot, but to use your personality to not only talk to customers up to 400 times a day, but to make each call sound to the customer as though it were your only call of the day. Because no matter how many times you may have repeated a word, a phrase, or an entire script, the customer is hearing it for the first time.
Thank you for calling Rocky's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Oh, yeah, and electric. This is Trixie. May I have your telephone number, please? What's your address, please? Okay, look. There's a $75 miscellaneous fee to send Rocky or one of our other expert and highly trained service professionals to your house, apartment, or place of business, depending on the caller. When he gets there, he'll look at the problem and tell you approximately how much it'll cost to have us work on it, but no guarantees. If you decide to have us do the job, we'll include the fee in the charge for the total work done. If you don't want us to do the job, you got to pay the $75 fee just for Rocky or another highly trained service professional to come out there. Get it? What? I already told ya. Okay. Look, I'm going to explain it again because I'm in a good mood, but try to listen this time, okay? There's a $75 miscellaneous fee to send Rocky or one of our...
Now that you're all experts on explaining and selling your company's minimum charge to callers, I'd like to talk a little bit about possible exceptions. Naturally, we don't suggest that you take any action contrary to your company's policy without prior authorization. But it's important to understand why some shops have decided to occasionally drop their minimum fees. During slow periods, a particularly mild winter or cool summer, or even when beginning service to a new area, offering to absorb the minimum fee can generate needed business. A customer who is irritated at the prospect of paying a minimum might decide to book service if the CSR says, "I can understand how you feel, and we'd really like an opportunity to show you how good our service really is. How about if we don't charge you the fee this time? Will you give us a try?" Or another approach is, "Our goal is always 100% satisfaction with our services. Let us dispatch our tech to your home. He'll look over your job and give you the complete price for doing the work. If at that time you feel the service dispatch fee is unwarranted, we will deduct it." This may not be appropriate for every call, but your shop owner or service manager may want to keep it in mind.
And is the phone number you gave me a good number to reach you at during the day? Or do you have another number that would be better?
That number would be fine.
Great, Mr. Owens. I'm going to check with the dispatcher first, but I think we have a service technician in your area right now. He can come to your house, he'll take a look at what needs to be done, and he'll let you know what would be involved. He'll give you a written proposal with an exact price for the entire job. We do have a minimum fee of only $35 to send the technician out to you. He'll give you a complete price quote to do the work. And of course, you don't have to pay that fee if you decide to have us do the work for you. Now, when would be a convenient time for the technician to arrive?
Hang on here. What if I decide not to have your guy do the work?
Well, then the minimum service fee is just $35 for the technician to come and diagnose the problem.
$35? Just to look at my thermostat? The other places I called said they'd come out and give me a free estimate. Are you guys trying to pull something over on me or what?
No, sir. Our basic service charge brings one of our trained professionals to your door. He comes out quickly and equipped with everything he needs to properly diagnose and repair your problem. He'll quote you the price of the job before he begins any work, and he's prepared to do the work for you right away. I can get our next available technician over to take care of you. Would that be convenient?
Sure, that sounds fine.
All right. I'll get the next available technician over to your home, and we'll call you when we're on the way to let you know we're coming.
Terrific. I'll be waiting. Thank you.
Thank you for calling Mike's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. And Mr. Brown,
Yes?
you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, no, sir, not at all. Let me explain. If I asked you to come over to our shop, that would cost you something, wouldn't it? What with the cost of gas, wear and tear on your vehicle, and the time to get here?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay, now if you were a professional and earned your living by coming to our shop, you would consider your time to be valuable, now wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
Right. And now if your vehicle were fully equipped with everything you needed to do whatever it is that you do to earn a living, so you could complete the work you were coming out to do without running around, trying to find parts or whatever, wouldn't you think that has a value?
Okay. Okay. Now I get what you're saying.
Great. Okay, so would morning or afternoon be more convenient to have our service technician visit your home for only $35? No, nothing like that. Our goal is always to provide you with 100% satisfaction with our services. Let us dispatch our tech to your home. He'll look over your job and give you the complete price for doing the work. If at that time you feel the service dispatch fee is unwarranted, we'll deduct it. How does that sound?
Yeah, well, okay. I guess that's workable.
Okay, then.
Okay, that's it for this module. And now that you're all pros at this, I'm going to say goodbye. But I'll be seeing you again later in the program. So long.